Well gone, everybody. Jamaica no taco day, you know? Yeah, blessings. Yeah, man. So we're there again. One Piece, chapter 8, 9, yeah, 904. 894. Yeah, One Piece. We are back again, and it is titled 894. Mm, yeah, it is titled 894. Man, what time is it? It is titled 12:05. I probably shouldn't have live streamed this. I didn't get much sleep last night. Anyway, let's carry on. It's titled 12:05, and of course everybody's done their theories and whatnot. Like I said, all the time this is not a live reaction. I already know what happened because I've read it before. It's just a review, you know. And of course, we know the Tentadas are gonna be escorting, being bodyguards to the reverie. So we go on to the next page where, what I really wanted to do about this review, what I really want to do was wonder if things are right to this. Yeah, we're live. The internet can totally see now to stop. Of course, we know that it's alive. Anyway, what I kind of wanted to do with this review was kind of do like a theory, based review where after I do the chapter, I'm kind of gonna run through it because everybody knows how 894 goes. But I kind of wanted to throw my theories in as far as who Snake or how Snake Man's form could be. Basically, it's Luffy's new form in Gear Fourth. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and start off the chapter because the main thing to know is that in this chapter and even the chapter before, there's a lot of things that played a part or played a significance, like played a significant part in everything that leads up to this transformation. In a situation where what happened now, we can say this, we kind of, have to go back on one theory we did make earlier, where we did think that the next farm in a Luffy transformation was gonna be what did call man, that must have been a couple chapters way back, Jesus. Oh, 888. It was called Lion. So I thought, basically that was gonna prove to Luffy's newest form, where I thought he was gonna, I thought basically because he was training on that island with those animals, he had the crocodile, he had the gorilla, he had a lion, and then there was a bear there, not a bear, but a tiger. I thought probably his next form would have been, the form of the lion, because that's just right. Because even in 888, he's fighting against Katakuri still, and that was that fight kind of carried on. Come now, don't let our reunion such a boring one. I have a question for you, even if you were running everywhere. Okay, so he ran away at that point. I think he had came back. Um, he had came back that time. I don't know. Probably Lion was in commemoration of Pedro, because Pedro was a had to be, because that's when So I'm basically debunking my own theory where I thought that Lion was the title of, when next we fight. After finally finding them now, look what's become of us. And next we fight, the Ming tribe will show the world. Well, we should have known, of course, because, alright, basically I'm debunking in 888, because I'll get onto it later on why I'm debunking a bunch of my theories, and I'm not gonna basically have my own theory about Snake Man because it's not gonna make too much sense. I don't know basically all the traits and properties of a snake, nor do I know all the traits and properties of rubber. But basically, I know Luffy somehow, some way intertwined the both of them to make his own, situation. So I'll just go on and see if I could just do this in a timely and orderly fashion where I don't go all over the place with my theories and debunking what's going on. So, we have, hey, even right here we have Rayleigh. He's slapping Luffy with an armament hockey covered that bat that he had, and he hit him so hard, man. I don't know what's smoking. Where's the smoke coming from in that panel? If it's, can't tell, man. Not from the food. Anyway, hits him so hard. Uh, it's like literally smoking from the They bring a dead rat and a dead fish, the fox and the tiger. Luffy's like, go away, guys. Um, Despite it being part of the observation haki, it seems you're quite adept of sensing the emotions of. Well, yeah, despite. So, that alone throws off the observation haki because, you know, uh, being able to observe living things from a distance or, whether being blind or whatever, of course, that's a part of being observation haki despite its trait. Because probably you don't want to sense these living things around you if you're that type of person. In Luffy's situation, he's gonna want to sense those things around him because of the type of person he is. So in this situation, he had no choice but to observe the fact that Flambe and the snipers were there. You know what I wanted to say too? Last time I did attack, when I did the one review, we kind of did a like notice I did like did I talk like I don't know one robot or something. Anyway, we could try to go on with this now. So we get to figure out with Luffy type of character it go prove the type of observation haki him gonna have. Of course we all know say Zoro, Sanji and including Luffy are go perfect them own type of haki. But them all have it you have to expect being a pirate on certain ranks, you have to have all three of them. There's no way you can have armament haki as a high class or rank pirate. And all right, look on like for instance category. He has a top. This has to be a high rank version of his armament haki Black Mochi, right? Arm or his color of arms has to be higher, has to be high, very powerful, and at the same time, him observation haki is very powerful, and him still have conqueror's haki, cause I them use knockout the father ninja. Anyway, I go on to see how Luffy has sent Katakuri's punch. So probably in this instance, he might use one version of observation haki, and you know. We get to see how Katakuri fling the foot off him at the same time punch him in the face. That match did really intense. Can't wait to see it animated, you know. Um, there's always one person watching. I wonder who's that one person. This is in my description. You'll notice I talk about grilled cheese sandwich. I wonder how nobody else brought this up. The part where Katakuri uses that attack, grilled mochi, and it's very. You know what? This is the thing that I realized that a lot of people didn't talk about. They just said that it's how the attack is closely related to the Red Hawk, which in this instance you wonder how is it that they're able to put fire around these attacks or whatever because they don't have fire. Of course they're not. They haven't eaten the devil fruit fire. They fire devil fruit. Like Ace did or Sabo. So you're wondering how is it that they're able to form fire, and I think it all has to do with just the devil fruit itself, or its contents, or some people have it that it's the devil that resides in you after eating the fruit that gives you these abilities. For instance, I don't know if the ability has to be closely connected to the attack that you're doing. For instance, he's doing grilled mochi, and of course, he would need some form of fire to get that mochi pocket hot enough for it to burst like a microwave. That's why I said it's like putting grilled cheese sandwich in the microwave. I think it explodes. I don't know. But the mochi, if you've seen what the mochi look like, it's like a sack, a flour-based sack with the mochi, the sweetening. I can't remember exactly what that one was, but so it's like he doesn't need fire-based abilities in an instance, but probably the contents of the devil fruit will allow him to use these imaginative attacks such as how the contents will allow you, if you're an awakened devil fruit user, you can, change the world around you to your liking, depending on your devil fruit ability. It's like the devil that resides in them after eating the devil fruit allows them to warp and, change the reality, or just the forms, or the particles, the small things, the contents, such as how, Dofi was changing the place into strings. A lot of, I think on one theory that I read, he had to come in contact with the ground itself. But just being in that existence probably will just allow the world around you to form into your liking, especially into the devil fruit ability that you have. So in an instance, the technique that you're using, you will be able to form the energy required to use the technique, depending on the technique itself, or into your liking. So, like Katakuri can't use fire-based attacks all day, but due to the devil inside of him, it'll allow him to imagine himself using fire-assisted attacks. You know what I mean? So, probably the Mochi devil won't allow him to use, fire-based techniques, but probably the Mochi devil can. You know what I mean? Like, if he was supposed to come out of Katakuri, just like in the Bleach, when the swords were actually coming alive, probably in a world where these devils do exist, probably that Mochi devil, he can use fire as well, like a fire blast. Literally, he can throw a fire blast like Charizard or something. Probably that's just an instance, because I'm just wondering how is it that he, just like even Luffy, how is, Luffy has a strong remnants, or he remembers his brother Ace so well, or his relative Ace so well, that imaginative power, with the rubber devil that resides in him, just was capable, or allowed him to use it, because rubber itself can come into contact with fire, and it can create, a new form or substance, where you would have to be in a science class to know all that. I'm not too sure. Anyway, I did say one time that, in cars, that rubber does have this property that when it does it's used to block up the oil passageways in the engine itself, and because it's in the engine, it does receive a certain temperature of heat. So after a couple months, that rubber, you wouldn't even tell that was rubber. It becomes so hard. If Luffy was to know these properties, like, use the heat and transform his rubber into the properties of that rubber, he, of course, the ending result would allow it, his arm to crack up, because that's what happened. It basically crystallized the rubber, the heat from in the car, and the properties of that rubber. So if Luffy was to gain this knowledge and use that imaginative power with the devil that resides in him, he could probably, create some sort of new color of arms, if you know what I mean. Anyway, we go on to see the grilled mochi attack. And do excuse me when I say the devil that resides in you, because that is just how this manga goes. They are eating these fruits called devil fruits. I just said some of them look like banana, or a pear, or an apple, and it give them certain power. Like, the fireman, and they eat this devil fruit called the fire fruit. So I'm getting fire fruit, just like the Iceman, or the Icement man. Icement man eat Icement devil fruit and get Icement powers. Anyway, um, Katakuri, I don't really want. You know what's crazy to me too? Watching Luffy do this, he kind of looks like Smoker in this panel. Let me keep it still. Not the panel where, yeah, that's panel right there, where he's going right back after. Anyway, he looks like Smoker coming out of the rubble or debris there. Like, is he moving that fast or something? Did he slingshot out of there? This fight is pretty intense though. I will get to that point. We go on to see Big Mom, which is the craziest picture of all. That is Big Mom now. Crazy looking woman. Crazy. I really want to talk too much about her, because so this is one part when I debunk one of my theories, where Chopper, he asks Carrot, if do Nekomamushi and Inuyasha also turn into things like that, sister. So, if you were to ever wonder if they could, of course they could, because, in 888, we get Inuyarashi, who says, that if it weren't for certain situations, the next time that they do meet Jack and his crew, it won't be the same type of mink tribe. You know what I mean? So basically, of course, they have that hidden power. I would only think that Nekomamushi, the leader of the day crew, and Inuyarashi, the leader of the night crew, or probably the other way around, I think. Of course, just like admirals and admirals and vice admirals, of course they would have to have a certain form of observation haki, as well as the color of arms and as well as the conqueror's haki. They would all have to probably possess all three traits, probably perfecting in each one. We get to see Smoothie. I don't know, of course she's doing the ability where she can absorb or distribute liquid from someone, basically ending their lifespan or something. So I'm guessing she's using that ability to drain the liquid of the sea to gain those heights, because we have Broke wondering if she's a giant. We go on to see, and it's funny, man, how all the theorists on YouTube, or all the YouTubers that does the reviews, are talking about a snake in my booth with this shot here. Basically, Katakuri stomping in Luffy's face. So everybody was like, oh, that was the proof of Snake Man coming true or into fruition. I'm not too sure what's going on with uh, Pudding and Sanji here. But they're off to a whole new world, I assume. A whole new world. I think that was Aladdin. We get to see in one of the shots here where Oven, one of the sons of Charlotte Lindland, he's being accompanied, or waiting Luffy to exit the mirror world with wounds and so on. But he's there with his other brothers and sisters, and we get to see the one that everybody's so anxious to see, which was the former commander, fourth suite commander, Snack. So, to me, Snack kind of looks like he's probably, just like all these other, he's probably just like Cracker, someone hiding in the shell of something, or his illustration is it's pretty mysterious. You don't get to see a whole lot. Just the fact that he does say one of the worst generation here. He surely is tired of the worst generation, as far as his duel with Iruj go. So everybody's talking about that. We go on to see Katakuri now addressing Luffy, talking about, what's the matter, Straw Hat? Is this the end? Of course you have Luffy saying, all right, I'm going to end it. Yes, rise to the challenge. It's the things that's leading up to the fact that he's going to change into Snake Man that has me so puzzled. Of course, the hockey formed around his eyes is way different. Oops, sorry about that. It's way different. If after this you still, if after this you've already given your answer. This is it. Yeah. You have to also wonder, doesn't Katakuri see this form in the near future? Isn't he seeing this, like, as far as with his observation haki, is he not able to see this form coming up? Because we also, you have to remember, he was able to see the form of fourth gear coming, into fruition with his observation haki. What's the matter, Straw Hat? This is the end. This is the end? All right. I'm going to end it. And then you have Katakuri. Of course, I'm reading it in the form where Katakuri is saying, what's the matter, Straw Hat? Is this? And then Straw Hat says, all right. And then Katakuri comes back, says, the end? But, of course, if it wasn't interrupted by that panel, you would read it as, what's the matter, Straw Hat? Is this the end? And, of course, Straw Hat Luffy would say, all right, I'm going to end it. But, you have panels that interrupt that, which is also, you have to understand these things, artists are not going to illustrate these panels for no reason. Each one is going to signify something or represent something. So, 12:05 is approximately 1 hour left until the rendezvous of Coco Island. You have the next panel goes into, like a showdown or a standoff. Not really with Luffy not standing up. Katakuri is at the other end looking and laughing because he's. You have to understand, Katakuri, he can see the far future. Sorry for wiping the mode Canada so much. I understand I just too me I chat so much. Shout some water and but you see the feel when I get from the fight, the adrenaline rush, the pump, the feeling of two men dueling, combat, hand to hand, hand to hand combat. Bare knuckle boxing is what they're doing right at this moment. The joy of that, I push him, I give him that rush and that joy, because you can see him actually a laugh throughout all of this. And the question when I ask Luffy is not really is like a rhetorical question, because the fact saying can see the future is just the fact say the joy of it. I don't know if it's throwing off his observation haki as well of seeing in the future, just going into this blindly. I don't know if that's what he's doing. I don't know if he lowered his observation haki knowing that Luffy doesn't have that potential, because remember he did injure himself. He will handicap himself just to see, and that you have to wonder in regards then what allegiance does he really have to Big Mom? When you take apart the character of Katakuri just to get to to see, to theorize what Snake Man is. And that's basically where we're gonna try to, leave it as, because there's not too much theories I can come up with. I did want to do one separate video when I did I go do like just what Snake Man can do, or what it is that we think Oda is giving this character, but I can't do it because my theory is completely debunked. I thought his next form fighting Katakuri would have been Lion Man or something, seeing that he was training. But I went back, looked at my theories, but at the same time I debunked some other theories and some other little side notes that Oda was trying to put in there just to throw you off. Just like when Chopper was asking Carrot, can Nekomamushi and Inuarashi transform as well? In 888, we get panels foreshadowing the fact that yes, they can. They basically made that statement out, saying, hey, the next time we see Jack, it won't be the same story. It's just because we were handicapped and we really didn't want to use our full potential, which is, the Celion transformation. So, that's just as much as I can go for theories right now. But as far as what Snake Man is, I'm just gonna say it's probably gonna heighten the senses of Luffy when it comes to observation haki and just that feat that he'll need to defeat Katakuri, because I don't know if it's really speed that he needs at this point or seeing near future. Remember, at the end of the day, we need that decisive blow. So is it something we're going to give Katakuri that decisive blow, that ending KO hit, or are we going to do some talking no jutsu where we're going to just realize that Katakuri has allegiance to Big Mom, yes, but he's right now doing this just for the love, like just the fight is just enough. He doesn't really have to defeat Luffy or stop him in his tracks, or I'm not too sure just what. Of course, he has to stop him. He's not gonna let him leave the mirror world. He damn sure ain't gonna do that. So sorry for using the DAM word, cause just in case any children are watching this. Anyway, that's it for chapter 894, and we're getting we're on our way to chapter 900. Can't wait to see what that's gonna be like. Really glad someone could have did a review here, would know. Hopefully, I'm gonna get to watch it and I'm gonna leave some comments. Subscribe, like, try to get the thing push out to some more yard people, so that if any yard people out there watch these things that we got going on, right after this, I'm probably just I gotta do one little gameplay, commemorating Black History, like me did I say, But we're not gonna put too much of that in our One Piece topic. We're gonna continue with some more One Piece because there were some other things that I wanted to talk about as far as One Piece go. Like is like as far as where is our Burning Blood 2? Like um anybody in the One Piece community that's getting this, what's going on with, a sequel to that fighting game, like I don't know. Is it something we're waiting on more characters or something? Or what, we're not gonna do those type of games anymore? Because I understand the next One Piece game we're getting is a game called World Seeker. So I can't wait for the next Burning Blood fighting game. Whether it be a sequel to Burning Blood or a new title. But something along the lines of the same genre as Burning Blood, One Piece Burning Blood. We need another fighting game like that with One Piece characters because um, the story is way beyond the Marineford arc or the Permanent War. So we want to see some more characters. We want something, man. We want a new fighting game. So I'm still me still play One Piece Burning Blood. Me we deal with satisfied with that, but can't wait to see just some news as far as a new sequel to this or a sequel or something, as far as continuing the development of Burning Blood. We notice World Seeker come out, so that I don't really want a fighting game. That's an adventure game. You get to roam the world of One Piece, especially I guess one specific island. But I'm talking about a fighting game where just like Burning Blood, but with more characters. We're looking for like, to play with characters such as who can we talk about? Play as what, Jack, Nekomamushi, the cat, the mink, from the mink tribe, the leader of the night. I guess I think they were the night, the protectors of the night, and then Inurashi is the dog, so I think he's the protectors of the day. So, some other characters like let's see, who would I like to play as if Burning Blood 2 was supposed to come out? Who is an anticipating character I would love to see? Um, if I know One Piece, man, do I know any of the characters? Not Goldie Rogers or Dragon. Of course, those are obvious. I would like to play as Big Mom. If a new Yonko. I would like if they were supposed to introduce or probably a mink. I would like to play as Carrot or even Pedro, you know? Pedro, Carrot, I think arriving to the elephant or even, you know what, man, even arriving on the Mink Island itself, I would if they were to make Raiju, I think that was the ninja's name. Or yeah, there's even some other characters in Dressrosa too, man, like Kaimon and the other samurai there, or or whatever he was. I think it was a samurai, Kaimon's friend. Um, those are some characters I'd like to play as. Those are a lot of characters too. If they were supposed to make a new game where replayability is would be in versus mode or something. Anyway, enough of the nonsense. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Um, yeah, we'll leave chatting. So just hope you enjoy it. Get some feedback from how I feel about chapter 894 and just spread the love and the joy as always. So one love. Yeah.